This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster, and welcome to Viewers Anonymous. Man, how you feeling today, man? You good?
Man, I'm feeling good, feeling great, bro. I don't got too many complaints. Excuse me. And you know what I'm saying, enjoying this weather out here. Today was a beautiful 70 degrees, and hopefully the rest of the week stay like this.
Hey, same here, my guy. Like it's been nice down here, man. To the point where, man, pollen there got me, man. Last couple of days, it's been a
Oh,
struggle.
no.
Yeah,
Oh,
man, it's been a struggle, and it's just been like, I mean, I know I already sound like it, but I'm like, hey, I'm powering through it because because man, like, hey, this got to be put out, man. We got a great episode ahead. But before we get started though, because I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, I remember when we did the snowfall episode, and you were saying that you was gonna make it like a family night and watch, coming the number to America,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But we didn't get to say anything about it.
right.
So, all right, so this is my thing. So I'm gonna tell you, I went into it with the expectations of I'm going into it to see a sequel. I'm not going into it with high expectations. I'm going into it of like, yo, this is, something that where they're gonna give us some answers and all this type stuff. And I'm seeing and hearing a lot of criticism. A lot of people are saying it wasn't nothing but cameos. It was a musical, and I've heard people just kill this movie and say it was trash. Like my thing
Yeah.
was, I don't think it was trash. Um, I think that it was. I love how they was able to explain and actually play out how this dude had a kid,
Oh man, that
and I
shit was
thought that it
great.
was a brilliant idea to take them back to the club. You know what I'm saying, and
Yeah,
play that out with the what they call it, the CG, whatever they call it,
the
new shit,
CGI. Yeah, that was
and
nice.
like
That
make
was
them look young again.
nice.
CGI. Yo, that was so dope. So I love how they explained it, and I thought that was dope. Now, I mean, I get the criticism of him having a sketch and finding his son scalping tickets the first day he come out to New York. I get all of that, but you know what I'm saying. You go to the barbershop. You know what I'm saying, familiar place. Everybody know everything at the barbershop. So
Yeah,
like I didn't go into it to be like to nitpick everything apart, but as far as it being 2021, slash 2020, it's a different time and it's a different world. And like a lot of those jokes and the stuff that went back then, a lot of that shit ain't gonna fly today. So I
exactly.
understood why they went that way, but what was your thoughts, man? Because I gotta hear what you thought about it.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, as you know, Coming to America is one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite movie of all time. We talked about it multiple times, man. I could quote that movie probably backwards and forwards. I don't watch it so much. When it's on TV, I don't never skip over it. I always watch it, no matter what part it's on. But I think that they did a great job as far as picking up where they kind of left off. Um, you know what I'm saying? Bringing back some of the old characters, you know, adding in some new ones. I thought that, them having the beef between um a king and the, I forgot what his name was in the well, Wesley Snipes' character
Wesley
name was.
Snipes. Yeah.
Yeah, but the beef between them two because you know what I'm saying he made his sister, you know what I'm saying, bark on one leg and she was cursed like that. Like to me, that's it. Like it's for me, man. Like I appreciate you know what I'm saying comedy and you know what I'm saying like I love you know what I'm saying comedy movies, but I appreciate the fact that you know first and foremost he had you know, a great damn near ensemble cast. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Leslie Jones, Tracy Morgan, Lunell, Nav Green, Rodney Perry, you know what I'm saying? Arsenio Hall. Eddie Murphy came back, you know what I'm saying? John Amos is still alive and came back. James Earl Jones came back. Sherry Headley came back. Vanessa Bell Calloway came back. Um, um, what's that motherfucker's name, man? I'm about to call him Willie. His name ain't Willie. Anderson. I forgot what his first name is. But
Oh, Louis Anderson.
Louis Anderson is back. Who else came back? The one dude,
the singing dude.
Yep, the singing dude was back.
And
the one dude in the barbershop.
Yeah, he real old now. But oh man, the one girl that played on the Jamie Foxx show, she was the flower girl.
Garcelle Beauvoir, she came back. You know what I'm saying? The old dude in the barbershop that was like, you ain't never met no Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? He was back. Like, they did a great job, you know what I'm saying, bringing back as many people as they could from the original movie or the first movie. I thought that the story was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Him having 3 daughters, and then he found out he got a son who could, you know what I'm saying, be the heir. I thought that the messaging behind it was great. You know what I'm saying? Him having to be a father to a son, teaching his son, you know what I'm saying, like life lessons that he, you know what I'm saying, that he learned from his father. Then on top of that, also being a father of daughters, having to, you know what I'm saying, change the culture and the history, you know what I'm saying, the traditions around where they from in order to let, you know what I'm saying, his daughter shine and shit like that. So, I mean, like, it was a great movie. And then, you know what I'm saying, it was, a lot of people was clowning and saying that it wasn't funny because they kept trying to compare it to the first one. You can't compare it to the first one. Like you said, it's 2 different time periods. It's 2 different, you know what I'm saying, it's jokes that was made then that can never be made now. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Sexual Chocolate was on the stage and, you know what I'm saying, the Reverend is announcing him. And, you know what I'm saying, Randy's standing next to him. And he's like, you know, this man has been my Reverend since I was a little boy. And he kissed him on the cheek. Like, you can't make that joke now because, you know what I'm saying, like, people would say it was offensive. But you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's like, that's what I look at. I look at, like, the little subtleties of the movie that I find funny. But, I mean, like, they did a great job as far as, you know, him, you know, being American and not from, you know what I'm saying, Zamunda, you know, him adjusting to the life in Zamunda. And then the only thing I wish is that they did how they did in the first one and was back in Queens, you know what I'm saying, like that. But outside of that, it was a great movie. Best part of the movie was James Earl Jones' funeral. I thought that shit was hilarious. the mere thought of him saying that we gonna have a funeral for me, but he alive in the casket. Hilarious. I thought that was the funniest shit in the world, bro. I laughed my ass off at that scene, man. That shit was hilarious. But outside of that, I thought it was a good movie. I ain't had no complaints about it.
Yeah, I've heard tons of complaints, man, and I'm just like, you know, even when we do this podcast, and I don't want to be the person who, like, I mean, I've had some low ratings on a few of the movies that we did. I don't hold everything to a high regard, but I think it's very difficult to do what a lot of these people do. And so I'm not the most critical, you know what I'm saying? And like, but I also went into it because when it comes to sequels, man, it's really hard. And this was a movie. And then like even Arsenio Hall said in the interview, like, dude, we vowed to never make another one.
Yeah, it wasn't even supposed to be a second one.
Yeah, but it was just so demanded, you know, people just wanted to see it. And, you know, and for them to do it the way they did, and I love how they brought scenes from the first one back, because I think that, you know, when for the young people who probably, you know, don't hold it to a high regard like we do, they made it more relatable. they make it more relatable to those younger people as well. And they used the costume designers from Black Panther. So if anybody thought that some of the outfits looked similar, that's why, because they used the same people to do the costumes. I thought that was badass. Wesley Snipes, man, he a whole legend out here, man.
Yeah, he showed out.
He did a great job. He was one of he kind of stole the show. Like, to be honest with you, like every scene he was in, like he stood out. And one other thing that was hilarious to me, what was hilarious to me was when John Amos was talking about his McFlurries.
We put the ingredients at the top. He's still stealing from McDonald's, man. He's still stealing from McDonald's. Listen. See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
That to me, that is the genius, bro. That is just the genius of Eddie Murphy, bro. Like, the fact that it's been all this time, it's been 30 years. This man is still stealing from McDonald's. That scene right there, bro, that was amazing, bro. He was like, it's not the Big Mac, it's the Big Mick. It's not the Golden Arches, it's the Golden Arches. When they both said it though, like, come on, man, like that's what I'm talking about. That's why I said, like, a lot of people was clowning this movie, but what they don't like, I feel like a lot of the people that was clowning this movie really just was people who weren't fans of the original movie, because the fact that they was going back and doing so many references from the original, like at the end when Randy Watson showed up for the wedding, and then he at the wedding, and then Peaches and the other twin come out rapping. Like, come on, bro.
Was hilarious.
Like, come on, man. Like, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, even what was the one scene? Even when they came back to the barbershop, and you know what I'm saying, he was like, "Hey, it's what do you call that motherfucker?"
It used to be Kunta. It used to be, but he changed it to something else.
Yeah,
he called him something else.
He called him something else, but it was just funny, just the fact that, like, you know what I'm saying, him walking in there, and then they still got the jokes, like, you know what I'm saying, it's still the old dudes with all the jokes. Like, it's just it was good to see that, you know what I'm saying, Eddie Murphy still had it in him, man. Only thing that made me laugh, bro, for real, like harder than the funeral scene was when I first seen Arsenio Hall. Me and my little cousin, we was watching it, we was on the Xbox, and I was laughing because I'm like, man, he looked like somebody older auntie, the way he was dressed up with the makeup and all that. Like, he looked like somebody's auntie, and then it turned around like he doing the witch doctor who was supposed to be his dad or parent or whatever. I thought that shit was funny. Man, it's like it was so many good moments in this movie that, you know what I'm saying, like, for people to even and shout out to Rick Ross, bro. Shout out to Rick Ross. Rick Ross, man, I know he had like a small 8-second part, but I think he did a hell of a job, bro. Like, first off, they used his house to do the whole Zamunda part, so that was dope. And then for them to even give him a part, and for him to have the African accent when Wesley Snipes walked up on him and Michael Blacksey, and he took that part, bro. He did his thing, bro. Shout out to Rick Ross. I think Rick Ross did a hell of a job on that scene. That shit made me laugh too, because it was so funny seeing Rick Ross with the African accent, bro. And he wasn't half bad at it either. So I appreciated that. I thought, you know what I'm saying, I thought the movie was good, man. Tiana Taylor did a hell of a job. For them to even go back and reference the Vanessa Bell Calloway shit, where, you know what I'm saying, the son got her barking and shit, like, I thought that was dope, man. I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, man, I'm still cracking up, dude. I'm still crying, boy, because that was the one thing. Like, it was some other funny parts. Don't get me wrong, but like that shit, like, and maybe it was just me. I just thought that shit was so funny when he said that my shit is at the bottom. I was like, yo, this dude is a fucking clown, but
like, he don't give up,
that was the one shit. Hey, that was the one thing that made me laugh out loud, man.
Yeah,
but I had to mention it on here, man.
Oh,
yeah, I had to mention it on here, man. Yeah, man, Cleo McDowell, boy. Sister didn't show back up though. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's because Eric LaSalle wasn't back. You know what I'm saying? We ain't get to see what happened to Soul Glow. So that was a little let down, but you know
Yeah,
they can only do so much.
but I think the actress might have died. I'm not sure, but like his mom, um, from the first one, she wasn't in it.
Yep,
But they said
yep,
that
Queen.
that James Earl Jones was he's having health issues, and they said that
Yeah,
they had to fly like that part that was when he was in the bed, like that was his
hmm
house. Like they
yeah,
said they had to film that in his house because his health was declining. So for him to
okay,
even do it, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like some. I don't want to compare it, but for people just to get the picture, similar to a Chadwick Boseman type of situation. Similar.
yeah,
He's just like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna do this for the love. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm not
hmm
doing so well, but you asked, and I want to be a part of it. So I thought that was dope. So
It was only
yeah,
right
man.
for him too. And listen, when he was in that goddamn coffin with that crown on, bro, and that nigga opened his eyes and started smiling when they had the fucking funeral, bro. Nigga, I'm telling you, bro. I'm sitting here watching it. I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, hold on. I thought, because they switch over. He in the coffin, so I'm like, damn, he end up dying. Like that's fucked up. And then he look up. He starts smiling. I'm like, bro, this nigga's alive at the funeral, bro. I just started rolling. I was like, bro, that's the funniest shit I ever seen. This nigga had a funeral while he was alive, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
Like, yo, that was yeah. Add that in there. That ain't at the top, but it's definitely in there, bro. Eddie, they did their thing in that.
yeah, man. I feel you, man. I had to get your thoughts on it, man, because I need to watch it again. I only watched it once, but
Yeah,
but like I said, what got me the most is I forgot what he called it. He called it the damn, I forgot what he
McFlurry.
called it.
He got it McFlurry.
McFlurry or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, he was like, the donors put theirs at the top. I put mine at the bottom. And I was like, that's the one scene that made me laugh out loud, man. It made me
Hilarious,
laugh
bro.
out loud. I thought that was
Hilarious.
hilarious. Man, but before we get into it, man, I just wanna let people know, like when it comes to this podcasting thing, like what really what really drives me, man. And it's not like looking for acknowledgement. It's just the fact of like when you take your craft as seriously as like we do, like when we do this
Mm-hmm.
thing, it's like when you hear certain shit, like that shit make you want to do and be better. And so, I get the interview. I think I mentioned it on here, but I didn't say what it was. I said I had a very special guest coming up on, one of my platforms. Well, actually, I put them on both of the platforms. I did a
Right.
double feature. I had an interview with Willie McGee. And for the people who don't know who Willie McGee is, you know what I'm saying? He's the athletic director of St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron, Ohio. And he's one of the dudes that was in the movie slash documentary More Than a Game.
Yep.
So what that means is like he grew up in best friends with LeBron James.
Part of
So,
the Acura
you know what I'm
Fab
saying?
Five national championship winners, state
Yeah,
championship
man.
winners. Man, one of the best high school teams to ever play basketball.
Yeah, man. And like to have him on the podcast, man, it was a tremendous honor. You know what I'm saying? I did my best with it, but like what really got me was I think it was Casey first. Like Casey had hit me and he
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, he was like, I listened to that interview and he was just like, man, you killed it. And then he asked me,
Yeah.
he was like, yo, he was like, where did you get those questions from? He was like, because everything just flowed like
Yeah.
automatically, like the way you sided up, all that type stuff. And I was like, yo, I was like, I gotta credit Scoops. I said, because I said I went to him and I was like, yo, like I'm kind of nervous about doing it, And you was like, yo, like write down your main questions and then, what I'm saying, just go from there. And it was
Mm-hmm.
like that really made it a whole lot easier but he made it really easy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he had like a lot of stories in between the questions and stuff. I think, and then like we just really turned a lot of it into a conversation. There'd be like a question, little conversation, and then the next question.
Mm-hmm.
And like to hear like the feedback from you and the feedback from Casey, man, like like I say, it's not for acknowledgement. It's just like, when you're working on your craft, because like it's a never ending working cycle. Like you always work on your craft. Like I feel like you would never, do it to perfection. Like it's
Right.
always something that's constantly going. And
Right.
like to get the words from both of y'all, like to listen and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like you did, a great job, even though I felt that Willie just, what I'm saying, went into it and really gave me everything. Because I asked him beforehand and he was just like, yo, I'm an open book. And I remember telling you, I said, yo, I don't want to ask him no LeBron questions. I
Yeah,
said,
you
because
definitely. And you did a great
it,
job at not doing that too, though. But see, the thing that I liked about it was, what I'm saying, like you said, like you went along with the questions, but in between the questions, like he might have brought something up, and you didn't hesitate to, what I'm saying, have him elaborate on that. And I thought that that was a great part because, what I'm saying, like a lot of the stuff that he was saying, it wasn't really him driving it. Like that's why I was telling you, like you really controlled the tempo and the flow of the interview because those 5 questions really is just the outline. And when you have an outline, it's a little bit easier to, have a direction that you want to go. But at the same time, off of those questions, you'll get stuff that you hear in between that you might want to elaborate on, or you might want them to, what I'm saying, say again because, you might not have understood it. And that could lead to who knows what. But you still have, so your questions to go through. That way you can still stay on track. And what I thought was super dope about it was, so like I told you, it didn't sound like an interview. It really just sounded like two friends catching up. You know what I'm saying? The way you guys started with how, you know what I'm saying, you guys met in college and, y'all was going back and talking about people that y'all knew and, what I'm saying, like just the moments that y'all had, what I'm saying. I thought it was funny when he was saying like he could throw the pass, he couldn't throw none of the intermediate passes, which was bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a good laugh off of that. I thought that was good because, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, you understood that connection. Like it didn't seem as if, what I'm saying, you doing this like a job. It just felt like it was two friends kicking back, catching up. And I think that's why, what I'm saying, the interview sounded so great because it felt natural, it felt authentic, it didn't feel forced and, what I'm saying, robotic. But it was a great interview, man. Like I told you, I cracked up when he started talking about he went from high school to flying jets and getting sponsored by Nike to, what I'm saying, going to college and getting on buses. I'm like, man, that's a huge turnaround, bro. That's a huge
hey,
turnaround.
no, I'm surprised you wasn't cracking up over the like dude, like this dude go from, what I'm saying, getting the stuff as far as like being sponsored by that, and then we getting our game day pants, my guy,
Yeah,
game day pants from Mark's high school in Tallahassee, Florida.
yeah,
It's like, man, they ain't even buy new pants, dude.
that's
They got
crazy.
them used pants. Like, dude, that's how low down the totem pole they was, man. Like,
That's
but
crazy.
now the school is nice. It's nice now. I mean, I haven't
Hmm.
been up there in a while. Last time I seen it, was probably like 2010 or something like that. And they
Yeah.
built like this whole new science center and like the school, like the field. Because, dude, we used to go to Fairmont State Senior, which is the high school. Dude, they had a
Hmm.
turf field. We practiced our spring game on their turf field, and our field didn't even have turf.
Damn.
Like we had regular grass.
Yeah, see,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's just crazy. And then like even to hear him talk about how like what I'm saying, like they was at All-Star games and they meeting Beyonce and Rihanna and Jerome Bettis and all these people, and it's like, God damn, like you forget as he's talking, you forgetting that these niggas is in high school. Like they not even these niggas ain't even in college yet. Like these niggas is literally in high school doing all of this. Like
yeah,
it was just so crazy. And then it's funny because what I'm saying? Like me being from Ohio, like I don't necessarily know exactly how it was, but I remember how big it was because, what I'm saying? Like Akron is right up the way. You know what I'm saying? That's right up the highway. So, what I'm saying? That to hear about St. Vincent St. Mary was just the whole time LeBron was in high school, he was on our local news during the sports segment. And it was like
hmm
they was cutting some of our teams out just to talk about LeBron. So it was like, what I'm saying? I remember like one year they had like LeBron watch, seeing if he was gonna go to college or go straight to the league. So, what I'm saying, just even remembering that and remembering that team, like I remember he came down here and played Ketter and Alter. and like, or they called it Archbishop altar at the time. But they came down there and smoked their boots. And I'm talking about when I say that whole gym, bro. They was at they was at literally a college. They was at UD's arena and sold it out. And at the time, UD didn't even sell it out. So for LeBron James and that team to come down in high school and sell out a college arena when the school that they played at, the school's arena that they played at didn't even sell it out, was crazy. It was just like, it was so unbelievable just to see the hype around that. And then going back and watching more than the game and seeing just, what Coach Joyce did, what Drew did and what everybody else on the team did, like just to see how, they literally came up from kids all the way to high school and really created this family, really created this team. It was just like, yeah, you seen why they was able to win the championships that they won, and you seen why they was able to do what they did.
Yeah, man, it was like, dude, it was truly an honor, man, to have them on, man. It turned out to be dope, man, and like I said, to put a button on it, like you forgot to mention, these dudes in high school sold out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it was quick as arenas then, but like
it was
sold out.
State.
Dude, they sold out a damn NBA arena, dude, in high school.
Oh yeah, that was the Cavaliers. Yeah, that was the Cavaliers.
It's like, can you imagine? Like, because I thought, you know what I'm saying? Because our playoff games, like, because it's different. Like, I've went to some high school games, not last year, but the year before. Like, I go to my old high school games sometimes. And it's like, I look at it, I was like, God, man, it seemed like there ain't nobody here. Because when I played, like, the whole stands was full. The whole, like, all around the gate was full. And it was like, we would, like, they would squeeze in there, like, I know, like 10,000 people. And it's maybe not 10, maybe more like 8. And it's like, these dudes play in front of, like, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
60,
listen,
70,000 in
I
high
seen
school.
I seen that one time. It was I forgot what year it was. I want to say it was maybe around like 06, 07. Maybe not maybe 05, 06. But it was it's a tournament that we got called Flying to the Hoop that they play at the University of Dayton Arena. And it was Chris Wright and Daquan Cook. It was Dunbar versus Troutwood. And when I tell you, bro, everybody was there to see this. Everybody was there to see this. Chris Wright was going to the NBA. Daquan Cook was going to the NBA. But they both was on their way to college. And then behind, I don't know who else Troutwood had on their team, but Dunbar had Norris Cole at point guard, and then they had another dude named Aaron Poe at center. And then they had another dude named I think his name was like Darren Powell. He played at power forward. But he played at small forward. But when I tell you, bro, they had a squad. When Dunbar had a squad, man, listen, this was probably one of the best high school teams I've seen personally. They came and beat my high school 101-29.
Holy God.
Yeah, that's how good they were. I mean, like, they was, when I tell you they was good, like, they were good. Like, they was dogs. So to see two of them come out, I know Daquan, he had a little stint in the NBA. He played for the Heat, the Thunder, the Bulls. I think who else he played for. I think that was it. And then I know Norris went to Miami. Won 2 championships. Then went to the Pelicans. And then Chris Wright coming out of Trotwood, he went to Golden State. So it's like, out of that class, they really had some hoopers. So to be able to see all them, you know what I'm saying, play together was amazing. So I can just imagine how it was being able to see like LeBron at his, not even at his peak, like at his beginning. And then, you know what I'm saying, like seeing him dunking on kids who think they can play against him.
Man, and y'all, this is the last thing I'm going to say. And then we're going to get into the appreciation episode. But the first time I heard about that, like around here, and it might surprise you. So, like, as far as like high school stadiums, arenas, like the biggest one in this area was Burns at the time. Mm-hmm. Burns probably could seat about, I don't know, they probably could seat about in the inside gym. They might can seat maybe 20, maybe not 20, more like around 15, 20, yeah, maybe around about 15, 20,000. dude, they had to move the school called Clover, right? Was it? No, it wasn't Clover. It was a. I think it was Clover. They had a basketball player named Ivy Latta. It was a girl. She had so much buzz, dude. They couldn't play home games in Clover's like maybe like 30 minutes from Burns. But
Yeah,
like the hype was so big on her, they had to move all her home games to there because it wasn't enough seats. And she ended up going to North Carolina. She played with the Tar Heels, and then she got drafted by the Atlanta Dream, and she played with
mm,
the Atlanta Dream for a couple of years. But that was the first time I seen, because see, Ivy Latta was, let me see, I think it was right around it was like my senior year or my first year of college when this big buzz was about her, and they
yeah.
did that for a girl, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying
No, I
like
know what you
we
mean though. Like, yeah, just
yeah,
being able to see that
like
in
she
high school is
had to be
crazy.
raw.
Yeah,
Yeah, she had to be raw because they do that mostly for men. You know what I'm saying? But to do
yeah,
that for a female basketball player, that was dope.
yeah.
But man, we'll get into it, man. Like this is one of the ones, man. And this is no disrespect to her because we done went 30 minutes before we got into it.
Right.
But man, this was one I remember mentioning to you because I was like I say, anytime you think about like actors and actresses and stuff like that, there are certain
Hmm.
names that always stand out to people. And like this person, they don't, for some odd reason, like even though she got everything, you know what I'm saying? She got the looks, you know what I'm saying? Got the body, she got the acting skills, she got, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you need. She could be funny, she could be serious, all that type of stuff, but she never get mentioned. And the
Right.
actress that we covering today, man, the appreciation episode, man, is on Charlize Theron, man. And
That's
like,
right, man.
you know, and I'm gonna start right off the gate about something, an unknown fact that I just found out. Like maybe it's not unknown to most people, but dude, I
Hmm.
just literally seen this because when you look at her credits, like she has a lot of credits as being a producer as well.
Yeah.
She was a producer of a show that we done on here, dude, and
What's
I
that?
had no idea, dude. She was a producer on Mindhunters.
Oh, really?
Yes, every episode, both
Wow.
seasons. I
Wow.
had no idea. Like we did that show through in and throughout. Like
Yeah.
matter of fact, that was one of our like greatest shows that we've done. Like we tend to do better on
Yeah.
like shows and stuff. She was a producer on that, dude. Had no idea, no idea, and that just shows you
That's
like how
crazy.
talented this person is, man.
That's crazy. Yo, so like, she's an interesting person because first and foremost, she's not from America. She is from South Africa. She was born in South Africa, moved here with her family. Um, and it's interesting because I remember somebody, I forgot what I was watching, but somebody had made a joke. And they were, well, it really wasn't a joke, but they were having like a debate thing, but they were technically making a joke because like somebody was saying like, well, you're African American. And they was like, no, I'm not African American. I'm an American. They're talking to a black person. They're like, I'm an American. You want an African American? You need Charlize Theron. She's African American. So I started laughing because I'm like, what? Like, man, how's she African? Like, that's a woman ain't no damn African American. So when I look it up, I see like, oh shit, she's born,
Really?
in
Yeah.
South Africa. So, yeah, man, she hailed from the motherland, and
Yes.
yeah, man, she has some interesting credits. She has some very interesting credits. One of the ones that
Hmm.
stood out to me, which I had no idea, but I'm really not surprised. But she was one of the voices on Robot Chicken. And if anybody
Okay.
doesn't know what Robot Chicken is the show that Seth Green created back in like the early 2000s. That was on Adult Swim / Cartoon Network in the early days. Great like animated sketch show, hilarious moments in it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that she was actually a part of that. And she actually has some, you know what I'm saying, some great credits. But she's been a part of some amazing movies um as an actress, but like you said, as a producer as well. She won the best performance in a leading role and as an Oscar and for Bombshell in 2019. She won it again in 2006 um, for a movie called North Country. Let me see. She won it again for Monster in 2003. She won the Golden Globe for Bombshell. She won a Golden Globe for a movie called Tully, Best Actress. Another one in 2012 for a movie called The Young Adult. She also won a Golden Globe for Best Actress in North Country and Monster. She won one for a supporting role in a movie called The Life and Death of Peter Sellers. So I mean, like she really has a phenomenal career, man. 66 total wins and awards, and at least 145 nominations.
That's dope. And I
Yeah,
think all of it is well deserving, man. And like to get back to that thing, like I didn't know she was from South Africa until she did an interview with Bill Simmons probably like two
yeah,
years ago. And I'm listening to it and she's talking about it and I'm like, what? I was like, I had no idea. And she was saying like, you know, how heavy her accent was when she first came out here, and like she did the typical, like you know how like in movies they
hmm,
always portray this whole thing of like, you know, a woman working in a diner and she's trying to be an actress and all this type of shit. Like that's
yeah.
real shit, dude. Like she came here and she became a waitress. You know what I'm saying? To, you know,
Wow.
fulfill her dream of being an actress. And it was just wild to hear that story. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, like that's real. Like, cause they just, it seemed like they just be throwing stuff in movies sometimes. And like that's what
Hmm.
she did, and she had to do, you know, had this voice coach because she was saying how deep her accent was because she like really never traveled. So like in like, but her first credit though, she didn't really have any words or anything. She was in Children of the Corn 3,
Yep.
but
1995.
yeah, 1995, man, and she didn't she said she didn't really have any words in it or whatnot, but you know that gave her that thrive to, you know, saying to really do more because a lot of people looked at her as just, you know, a pretty face model type girl, so she had to
Hmm.
prove. So for number one, like she had to get rid of her accent, she had to prove that she was more than just a face and all of this type stuff, so she had to overcome a lot of the stereotypes early on. And one of the movies, man, where like when she made that change for me, like
Yeah.
I mean I've noticed her before, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm a huge fan of The Devil's Advocate, The
Yep.
Astronaut's Wife, Reindeer Games, all the stuff like that. But what really turned the tide for me when it came to her was when, like I said in the coming soon, was when she transformed herself into a monster, dude. And like when
Hmm.
she did Monster, like the confidence that you gotta have to do that to yourself and to really look like this lady. And like that was that role to me, that was that defining role that took her over the top for me. I'm not saying like, you know, for her, maybe she feels like it's something else, but for me, it was like, and then I think that was the first time she became. I think that's her first producer credit was
Yeah.
on Monster. So it was obviously a story that she really wanted to tell. And I think that even that movie, you know, when you think about a girl that was, you know, raised the way she was raised and how she was on her own, and she started, you know, using her body for money, and but
Hmm.
then also, you know, when they show you her getting raped and how men were taking advantage of her. Now, obviously, I'm not justifying it, but you know what I'm saying. You kind of see why she started doing what she was doing, and then she felt
Yeah.
that it was. I'm talking about the real lady, like, and she kind of felt that it was deserving because she was like, "Yo, these men are doing this to me," and then she meets this girl that's really gay, and she's not gay, so she's trying to act like she's gay because it's just a person. Because she was, you know, thinking about killing herself.
Hmm.
So, but for her to play this role man, it took a lot of guts, man, because you would see people they would lose weight for movies or they gain weight for movies. I mean, like she gained weight, man. She did the whole teeth thing, man. She didn't, you know what I'm saying? Man, dude, to make yourself like physically ugly when she's not an ugly person, like, dude, that's woo, that was wild. It sucks seeing her like that, but she killed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth it, but yeah, she got back to herself real quick.
Yeah, my first time ever seeing her in a movie, and I didn't really know who she was, but my first time ever seeing her in a movie was Mighty Joe Young. That was literally the first time I had ever seen her in anything. My favorite movie that she's in though is Aeon Flux. When I tell you that she did her thing, I mean, it was at the time, you got to remember, like, it's not too many women doing, you know what I'm saying, like action roles. You might have like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like Mia Djokovic, she did a couple. What's the one chick that's always doing she always in the action movies. She was in Fast and the Furious. She was Letty in Fast and the Furious.
Michelle Rodriguez.
I'm about to call her Gina Rodriguez for some odd reason. But Michelle Rodriguez, she, you know what I'm saying, you see her here and there doing, you know what I'm saying, action parts, but you really don't get a chance to really see women in those action films and it be, you know what I'm saying, like believable. Or, you know what I'm saying, like, or they didn't make it, they didn't cater it towards a woman. Like, they would have them doing, like, manly things, like, I don't know, a dude would be able to, you know, so like a big dude be able to punch through the wall, and then like they'd have like a frail little tiny skinny woman. She's probably like 110 soaking wet, and she be punching through a wall. You be looking like, come on, fam, ain't no way her little self punching through a wall. You feel me? But this was one of the first movies where I seen a woman in the action role actually be able to, you know, seem as believable as it was. Like, it was set in a dystopian setting, so, you know, they had different elements to where, like, you know, they were, you know what I'm saying, like, they were, like, genetically engineered and shit like that. So when she was actually doing stuff, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't too far-fetched of what she was doing, but it wasn't, like, you know what I'm saying, too, it wasn't too extraordinary for what she was doing. Like, she would do things like, I don't know, cartwheel over a laser. But the way she cartwheel over a laser, it just seemed realistic. Like, she would be able to do something like that. So, I mean, like, to see her in that movie, that's when she really stood out to me. And that's when I really started looking for her. The first time I seen her was Mighty Joe Young. But the first time I paid attention to her was Aeon Flux. I thought that was a great movie. And then for her to take the leading role and for her to be in that movie and, you know, so make that movie what it was, you know, and for her to take on that action role was very impressive.
Yeah, man. And then she did it again with Atomic Blonde, and as far as like the leading role, I mean, you know, she was in Mad Max. She, you know, what I'm saying, that's an action movie.
Job in Mad Max.
Yeah, and Mad Max, and then, you know, obviously the Old Guard. We did the Old Guard on this podcast.
Hell of a job in that.
And also, I mean, she didn't really do any of the action scenes, but, you know, she was in Fast and the Furious, the Fate of the Fast and the Furious as well.
Yep.
But I see that there's it's been announced that there's going to be an Atomic Blonde 2, so that's going to be dope as well. But, you know, but something else I want to mention is the fact of like how versatile she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever seen young adults? Yo, that shit had me dying, boy. Because it's so funny to see somebody who tried to pretend like when they go back to their hometown and they try to act like they better than what they was, and then like she gets called out on it, and like so she's like in this comedic role of like trying to seem like she's not still that same person that went to high school, you know, 20 years ago. And like she just haven't moved forward in life, and to see somebody whose life is basically in shambles, but like it's in a comedic type of way. And like she's literally like she's funny. Like it's actually a funny movie. And
Yep.
like to see her now, but this is the thing though. This is the thing about her. What was so great to see her in something like young adults is because even when you look back at like Reindeer Games and when you look back at oh man, not necessarily Devil's Advocate, but Prometheus, like
Oh man,
Prometheus and the
she
Huntsman, like
she was so
she
cold in
plays
Prometheus, bro.
dude, but she's a villain. She's a great
Yes,
villain.
yes,
And she's really, really good at it because she was a villain in those movies and like the
yeah,
Huntsman and Fate of the Fast and the Furious. Like she is an
yeah.
evil person, and like but in Prometheus like she
She,
was like you said, but she was
I was
cold in
like
that, boy.
the fact that she was willing to risk it all, man, just to make that shit happen in Prometheus. I was like, yo, she is stone cold.
Yep.
It was like she was the like I felt like what what's her girl name from Alien?
Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
What's her name? Yes.
What Sigourney Weaver was as the hero in Alien, or like as that was she embodied as the heroine, like whatever the
Uh-huh.
opposite of the heroine is. That's what um that's what Charlize Theron was in Prometheus. Like if them two was to come together in some kind of space movie, and like Sigourney Weaver could have been the hero, and like Charlize Theron would have been the villain, that would have been a great movie, bro.
And then this is this is all time. See, people have to listen to like every episode to get what I'm about to say right here,
Yeah.
right? Because you was a fucking clown. So Hancock.
Oh my god. You talking about
Hey,
a
but he
villain.
was a clown, but
You talking
I
about
thought,
a villain. She was a hell of a villain.
she was Hancock's kryptonite.
Man, what?
And you was the way you put it that one day, I forgot how you put it, but you was like, yo, like for Hancock weakness to be a white woman. But I was like, yo, but this dude right here.
Come on,
I was
man.
like, but he is a fucking clown.
Like, listen, think about it. He could do anything. He was great, bulletproof, all this. Like, couldn't nothing stop this man. You know what I'm saying? Dude was trying to clean up his image and all that. Hancock didn't give a fuck about none of that. Next thing you know, he meet this random white woman. He gets shot. He start bleeding. You like, come on, fam. You mean to tell me this nigga weakness is a white woman, bro? He ain't got none of his powers and shit. She come save him. Like, man, it was horrible, man. It was
man. See, you gotta look at it this way though, man. You gotta look at it this way. Like they're like magnets, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how when you put a magnet on the wrong side and then it just keeps, you know what I'm saying, pushing each other away? Yeah. Like that's what they is. But like, because they had.
If you notice, the further away he got from her, the stronger he got. That's a symbol. That's the message, brother. Message. They trying to tell you. You got to stay away from them, man. You got to stay away from them. They're not good for you. When you get to them, you get weak.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, boy, you was a damn clown, man.
And then the story
I thought
that
shit was so funny.
The story that she was telling them was so tragic, man. She was like, yeah, they killed you this time, they killed you that time, they killed you this time. And he was like, and you was there for all of them? She was like, yeah. I'm like, man, get away from that motherfucker, man. Get out of there, bro. Get out. Leave. Like, get away from her.
See, that's what made the story tragic, man, that they was in love for centuries, man.
Love. He was dying because of her. He got killed in the 1500s because of her.
Man, he didn't get killed, man. He just got injured, man.
No, you know what I mean. She said that they killed him. He got killed. Or killed. He got killed.
But that shit is hilarious, bro. When you said that the first time, bro, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, man, this dude is an
I
idiot,
I
man.
wasn't with it, man. I just wasn't with it. I'm like, yo, like out of all the shit for him to have to go through, man, it just had to be that's what had to be his damn, you know what I'm saying, kryptonite, man. But she's done some amazing work, bro. Like, um, like even looking at her credits, man, they got her as, you know what I'm saying, the diva and the model in the Dior fragrance commercials. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how dope is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, for her to
Woo.
even be that big of a star, to even, have those commercials up under her belt. And, they real picky about who they choose to be the face of, their products. So that just lets you know just how good she is at what she does. Like, I'm looking at a few of her movies, like A Million Ways to Die in the West. Comedy movie, for her to even be able to hold her own in a comedy movie. Um, she was in, like we said, Prometheus, The Huntsman. Um, she was also in Mad Max. She was in the second Huntsman, which was great. She's done some voiceover work, Kubo and the Two Strings. Um, Let me see. She was in another comedy or a TV show called The Orville. I mean, like, she really has some great work. Like another voiceover with the Addams Family movie that just came out not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Last we seen her was The Old Guard. Fast and the Furious, of course. Let me see. She did voiceover work in Astro Boy that came out in 2009. Um, she's had some very, very interesting parts. She was in Arrested Development, great TV show. Um, I mentioned Aeon Flux. You mentioned Monster. She was in The Italian Job. You know what I'm saying? How can we
Yep.
forget The Italian Job? Uh, she did her thing in that. You know what I'm saying? She showed she could drive, which is a very hard thing to do in movies. No, for real.
Hey, boy, you fucking
It's a joke. It's a joke, but I'm serious. That's a very hard thing to do in movies. To be able to have that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of times they don't really drive the cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually like a stunt double that they show. But I watched not a documentary, but you know how they have like the behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, like extras and all that. And one day it was on, I think, like AMC or something like that, about Italian Job or whatever it is that show the movie, and they show all the extras as they show in the movie. I think it was like FX or something. But they was actually showing it, like her and Mark Wahlberg was actually driving the Mini Coopers. And that's like, you don't really get a chance to see that, outside of stunt doubles and stunt people. So for her to actually be driving that car and doing some of the stunts, bro, that was pretty impressive. Um, she was in Legend of Bag Revenge. She was in Men of Honor, Reindeer Games with Ben Affleck, The Cider House Rules, like you said, The Astronaut's Wife. She's been in some pretty good movies, man. Like for her to be acting in those movies is pretty good. And then her producer credits are crazy. Her producer credits are wild.
yeah, man. And a little known fact, man, in 2000 yeah, and a known and a little, just throw a little something out there, man. In 2005, she was ranked fourth in FHM magazine in the 100 sexiest women in the world.
Oh wow. Okay.
Just to throw
That's
that
not
out
bad at
there.
all. That's not bad at all.
And the thing, and the thing is,
Mm,
and
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say like, man, because even with that, like, man, you got to think like a lot of the times, man, a lot of these girls be getting roles, man, simply because of how they look. You know what I'm saying? Like even, and this is not a knock, like it's not a knock at all, but like think of somebody like Megan Fox. Wait, you think Megan Fox really got roles because you know what I'm saying? She was just a great actress. I don't think so. I
Nah,
think Megan
she
Fox
not the
really got
greatest.
some of those roles simply because of how she looked. So
She
like,
definitely got
when it
Transformers
comes to
potential.
her, Oh yeah, for sure. And then they tried to be funny and do Jennifer's body, and that shit was trash.
Yeah.
Cause the movie like that was like that was the only reason why we checked into the movie because of Jennifer's body. That was it. Like
Yeah.
nobody cared about the plot, what was going on, and all that type of stuff. But like she like really can straight up act, my guy. Like this is not like a situation where you just get a face and then like even like the stuff like when it comes to like the astronaut's wife, like she was man, she turned into an alien in this movie, man. Like,
Yeah.
like, come on, man. But to get back to your point, man. Could you? Cause you was making a good point, man. The producer credits, man. What was you headed with that one? Because I interrupted you.
She did a film. Well, it's not necessarily a film, but it kind of it's like a TV. It's one of those straight to TV movies or for TV movies. But she did the Hatfields and McCoys, and that was at the time like a real big production. Like a lot of people was talking about that. She did it in 2013, and like a lot of people were really, you know what I'm saying, like in on that. I want to say like Kevin Costner was in it. It was like a bunch of people in that, you know what I'm saying, like in that movie, and it was a real good, you know what I'm saying, like one of those straight, you know what I'm saying, the TV movies. But you know what I'm saying, like you said, like for her to do some of the stuff she's done, and a lot of the stuff that she's done has been, of course, you know what I'm saying, stuff she's even starting, like Monster and Atomic Blonde. Like a to me, I feel like uh that's a very telling thing about how, you know, saying about how good you are as an actor, but or actress, however people want to put it. But a lot of people don't get a chance to, you know, what I'm saying, act and produce the movies that they're doing. You know what I mean? Like that's one of those things where, that lets you know like they get a lot of the control about, you know what I'm saying, the editing, and they are really involved in these movies. So when you see these actors that also have producer credits or director credits, like you also have to realize like they're not just acting. They have to act, and then they have to go make sure that they look right in the edit, or they're in the right position when it's editing. They have to do that with the rest of the film as well, not just the scenes that they're in. So I mean, it's like that's very impressive for her to be able to do the movies that she's done. Like if you think about a movie like Monster, that's a very serious, dramatic movie. So for her to have to play that role and then jump out of that, be a producer, jump back into that, and then continue to the next scene, that's not an easy thing to do.
Not at all. Not at all. And that's why a lot of the times you don't see a lot of people willing to take on that role because it's such a difficult thing to do because you like you
Exactly.
said, like you got to sit there and you do it, then you go back, you go behind the camera, you watch it again, and like it's just
Mm-hmm.
like and then the research that had to be done, and then like anytime you playing like when like Monster specifically,
Exactly.
like you know you have to go back and you got to read police reports. You got to go back and, maybe they made, because I remember they made a documentary about her. I don't remember if it came out before or after, but then you have to go back and look at news footage, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have to get this person's mannerisms. You know what I'm saying? I think the reason, and see, Monster is also one of those roles where I think of, where I think of Heath Ledger playing,
The Joker.
um, Joker, and I think of,
Shit, Jamie
oh
Foxx
man,
and Ray.
yeah, and it's like when you got footage of somebody and you watch how they stand and how they walk around, I think that she really like watched this lady in court and got like
Mm-hmm.
some of the ways that you know what I'm saying, because she would do like these little funny faces and like the way she would stand
Mm-hmm.
and like do this little rocky thing that she did, and it's like to take that role that serious and to do the things that she did, you know what I'm saying, as far as making herself look the way she did and put that hairspray in her hair to make her hair look like I mean, yeah, this lady was in the '80s, and that's how they wore their hair in the '80s. But that hairdo was trash, boy. And it was like, man, you gotta walk around. Like, man, it was like, man, the hairspray,
That's
man, it, like
funny.
it sticks up in the front and then it goes back like a mullet. I was like, yo, but that is
Yeah.
trash. But but
That's hilarious.
but to go through that, man, it was like, yo, man, like she's a real one for that one. But like it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, even when you think about somebody like Denzel Washington, like if I'm not mistaken, I believe the first one he did like that with Anquan Fisher, but he wasn't the star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he didn't have to star in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that was on Derek Luke. But like she
Mm-hmm.
was a producer and like she's the starring person. I mean, now,
Yeah.
shout out to Christina Ricci, she did a great job as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, people don't understand how tough that is. And even in young adults, like she was a producer in that and she was the main character in that as well. So but I'm appreciating that she did Atomic Blonde, and I think a lot of that came from Eon Flux, man. I could tell you really really like that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was dope,
Yeah.
man. I hate how they did. My old girl had hand feet. You know what I'm saying? That was some weird looking stuff, but 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 that was dope though. She reminded me of Beast. She had Beast feet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
remember
Like I
Beast
mean,
had the
but
hand feet?
just even that though. Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, but like even if you think about that though, like going from, you know what I'm saying, like we just talked about how she was in a dramatic role and then going from that, getting out of that character and then going back to produce and then properly get back into character to, you know what I'm saying, switching that on and off. You gotta think about just how, you know what I'm saying, how strenuous and tumultuous it is to even be doing that in the action movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta do, even though she might not be doing the stunts, it's still certain, like
mhm.
you know what I'm saying, like it's just like when people talk about wrestling, like they'll say, oh, wrestling is fake, and I tell them, like, yeah, it's fake. They're not punching each other, they're not kicking each other, but to jump off a goddamn 20-story cage and fall on top of a table, ain't nothing fake about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can fucking fall the wrong way and you can be paralyzed for life, you could die. So for her to even be doing certain things in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, she may not be, doing the stunts, getting, jumping out of a moving car or getting blown up, but I'm sure there's certain things in there that she's done. And then to have to get up from that, go look at it, talk to the director, then go back and do it again the correct way if she messed it up. I mean, like, even that's something that's just, that's just as strenuous as having to jump in and out of character. So it's like, you start to see just, what I'm saying, how good she is at what she does. Like, you really get a chance to, no pun intended, appreciate, what I'm saying, what she does throughout her career. Like, what I'm saying, like, even in she produced Gringo. She was in Gringo, and that was a great movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that it's so many different elements going into a movie like that. Like, it's some comedy here, it's some drama there, it's a little bit of action. Like, even her being involved in that, like, you really get to see, how well she is at her, her job, just how versatile she is. Like, she's been in comedy, she's been in action movies, dramas, you know what I'm saying? Like, rom-coms, like all kind of shit. Like, just for her to be able to branch out into all those different sections, you start to see why she's as revered as she is, and why she has 66 wins when it comes to these awards. You know what I'm saying? You understand why she's a 3-time Oscar winning lead actress. You know what I'm saying? You get it because you know the effort and the work that she's put in.
Yes, sir. 100% in ingredients, man. So we ready for our well, yeah, we still can call them bitches fire flame.
Yeah, we do the Fire Flame top three. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we gonna do, you know what I'm saying, as usual for people who are new to it, you know what I'm saying, we do a top three anytime we do an appreciation episode, whether it be an actress, actor, producer, director, whatever, whoever we are showing love to and giving the flowers to, we always make sure, what I'm saying, we do a top three of all their projects that are our favorites, of course. And of course, what I'm saying, we give out an honorable mention because it's always that one person that's like, man, you forgot this one. So hopefully we don't have too many of those out there in the comments. So it's on you, brother. What you got?
All right, man. So I'm gonna give my honorable mention first. And I think the movie is just dope as hell. But and the people that she was just in it with. I mean, when you look at the roster, um, the Devil's Advocate, like I mean, Al Pacino, fucking
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves. It was just like that movie was just so dope, and then like the stuff that it played off of, like the movie itself, is just really like a straight up classic,
Mm-hmm.
man. It goes off of the sins and all this type stuff, and what you for fame and a whole bunch of devil work, not worship, but devil and God stuff. So it was real dope. But anyway, my number three movie,
Yeah.
man, of Charlize Theron, man, I gotta go. The Italian Job. Italian Job was very dope. She
Okay.
starred with Mark Wahlberg. It was just we spoke about it when we did F. Gary Gray, the appreciation episode on him. So
Yep.
shout out to him with the Italian Job. Number two, man, surprise, man, the Old Guard, man. I thought the Old Guard. I thought Netflix killed it.
Yeah.
The concept of it was great. You know what I'm saying? They leaving it open for a possible number two. So hopefully they able to get that done. With the vaccination going around, maybe it can speed some of the stuff up. But man, my number one, man, I talked about it, man. It's Monster, man. Like it was just
Yeah.
overall a great movie, man. I've even watched documentary on the lady. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a wild, fascinating story, and when it comes to these murder, well, serial killers, she was like one of the like latest like serial killers, dude. Like, I mean, she was doing
Mm-hmm.
this shit in the late '80s. So
Mm.
so I got to give it up for Monster, man. That's my number one Charlize Theron movie.
Okay. Okay. For me, man, my honorable mention is the Old Guard. Like what I'm saying, you said it. It was a great movie. Um, it wasn't really like a big cast or anything like that, but Charlize Theron was, what I'm saying, the lead in it. She did her thing. The storyline of it was great. The concept, like you said, of it was great. They did leave it open. Interesting fact: the person that she basically passing the torch to was the oldest daughter in Coming to America. So y'all go check that out.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
Oh shit.
And listen, she was nice in the Old Guard. She was fine in Coming to America too. But uh, yeah, man, my number three is the Italian Job. Great movie, great cast. F. Gary Gray, he did his thing. Like I said, it was interesting to what I'm saying, to see how they put everything together. The cast itself was already wild, but the fact that what I'm saying, they did a lot of the driving and stuff like that themselves, that kind of gave it what I'm saying, that feel of authenticity. So you kind of understood why it was the movie that it was. My number two is Prometheus. Great movie. Um, Great cast. Storyline was amazing, and then the fact that it was a part of what I'm saying, the Alien and Predator universe. I thought that was dope. What I'm saying, the fact that you kind of it kind of told the story of all of that happening before so like Alien and all that shit happened. So so I thought that was very interesting. I
Yo,
still kind of go back and watch it today. Just to, what's up?
and shout out to, I think you say it like this, Naomi, I forget how you say it, Naomi Rampage. Love her, dude. Like the main
Hmm.
character, dude. She's dope. Everything she playing, she dope.
Yeah,
You remember
yeah,
she played in What Happened to Monday?
yeah, yeah. That was a great movie too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
For her
my
to
bad.
play 7 different characters was, yeah, that was great.
That shit was dope.
But no, Prometheus, no, for real, that was dope as hell though. But Prometheus, man, for real, like, you know what I'm saying, for that to be affiliated with, you know what I'm saying, the Alien franchise, the Predator franchise, and to see, you know what I'm saying, kind of all that come together, you know, it kind of gave you some it kind of gave you like some insight into, you know what I'm saying, those movies, those stories, the backgrounds of them. That was great. And then of course, you know what I'm saying, I already said it, man. Aeon Flux, that's my joint. Dystopian future type movie. You know what I'm saying? She playing like an assassin. She whooping ass left and right. You know what I'm saying? She got the government on her back. You know what I'm saying? She fighting against the man. It was a good movie, man. She really did her thing. She looked good in it, doing it as well. That leather suit, boy. That leather suit get him every time.
Hey,
That
but
leather suit get him
hey,
every
but
time, man.
every time, but oh, you know who a name you forgot to mention? And man,
Who?
hey, boy, this is the battle of the leather suits, boy. Kate Beckinsale in Underworld.
I know.
She's
I
another
was about to go
one.
down the list. I was about to say Kate Beckinsale. I was about to say Halle Berry and Catwoman. She had that leather suit on.
Catwoman.
She was killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Michelle
She was built
Pfeiffer
for it. Michelle Pfeiffer.
when she
Well,
played it.
yeah,
Oh
that's
no,
true.
bump
That's true.
Michelle
But
Pfeiffer. No,
she
Anne
was
Hathaway.
yes, yes. Anne Hathaway did look good. Michelle Pfeiffer was all right. You know what I'm saying? She was '90s good. She was '90s good. But when Halle Berry put that thing on, buddy, woo, woo, woo,
Hey,
woo,
the
she started
90s.
swinging that whip. I was like, oh my, oh my. But you know what I'm saying? Scarlett Johansson was in the leather cat suit as well. You know what I'm saying? It's been a few of them that's done
hmm
that done the cat suit. It was pretty good, but Charlize Theron is she make a case for top 5 definitely. But Aeon Flux was a great
Okay.
movie, man. It was really a great movie. I go back and watch it from time to time just cause, but it's a great movie. Especially when she was
Okay.
she did the flip, and then when she did the flip, she caught herself and she was about to fall on the grass, but the grass had turned into needles and shit, and she was like done close
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yep.
I was like, oh shit, like it was, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those good movies, man. Like it was a bunch of acrobatics and shit into it, so great movie, man.
Yes, sir. I ain't mad at it. We had one. We had one. The Italian Job. Same spot at the 3 spot.
Yeah, we had you said the old guard.
Yeah, man. So well, you had Old Guard as an honorable mention. I had Old Guard as number 2.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, we kind of was in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah, similar. You know what I'm saying? I threw in the Devil's Advocate and Monster. So, but man, everybody know
Oh yeah,
what's coming up next. We got
of
episode
course.
4 of Snowfall.
Yeah,
Some of the
buddy.
cat is out the bag. I saw a preview, a clip. It's the dinner. So the dinner is
Hmm.
going to be the next episode. Not dinner like they had it during the day, so like a
Okay.
lunch. So Franklin sat down with Paul Davis. So obviously they had a conversation. But what else? What else are you expecting from episode 4, man?
Scully. Scully is going to fuck something up. I don't know if it's going to be something that Franklin does. I don't know if it's going to be coming in the Louis club. I don't even know if it's going to be attacking Leon. Or maybe finding out, you know what I'm saying, that Man Boy's still around. And maybe they get Man Boy. I don't know yet. But I expect Scully this episode. If we don't get Scully in this episode, I feel like we'll probably see him around like 6 or 7. But um, outside of that, I am interested to see exactly how Franklin plays this deal out because I think that the last episode that happened when he had talked to the store owners, that didn't really sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what they did for him, and kind of helped him and taught him some stuff about, the community and everything like that. And they've always been there. So I think that he's going to make that right, if not anything. Because Alton was very disappointed in that. And hopefully this is the episode where Irene gets a good scaring. Hopefully they do something to Irene in this episode. Maybe bust their windows or, vandalize her car or something or send her a note. But they got to do something to Irene. They got to get this bride out of here. She about to bring down the whole empire.
Hey, boy, you be killing her, boy. It'd be so funny.
I can't stand her, man.
But yeah, man, really excited, man, to actually come out tonight, man. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be getting it in tomorrow. Also, what's gonna be happening tomorrow is you know what I'm saying? I got an interview coming up with somebody you know very well, so that's gonna be very dope. So be on the lookout for the next 28 minutes or less. I don't think I'm gonna put it out yet. You know what I'm saying? I gotta let this one with the AD simmer for a little bit. But got another big one coming up. But before we get out of here, man, is I was telling you because honestly, like, we don't really check this shit like that. But we always accept everything that we can get, man, as far as whether it's good things or bad things. And so I went on our Apple page for the Viewers Anonymous, and we up to 5 ratings. And somebody felt, one person felt they should give us a 1 star, man. So but man, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that you took the time to go to the rating spot and
Thank
hit that
for
1 star. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not a hard thing to do, but I mean, but we appreciate all of them, man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna go as far as like I listen to Bomani Jones sometimes, and Bomani Jones be saying like, give me that 5 rating. He's like, if you give me anything below a 5 rating, you're a hater. He says that before every podcast.
Nah.
So I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
I appreciate anybody who, I appreciate anybody who listens to us and gives us an honest rating. I mean, if you feel like, we not what your cup of tea or whatever, then that's cool. I really just appreciate the time that you took to even give us any kind of rating. I wish they'd have left a comment and let us know, what they would like to hear from us or what they thought was bad. But, time will tell, man. Hopefully more people go out and, actually put that effort in and actually do that. But, salute to that person, man.
And also salute to we got a comment from March the 3rd, man. It says Beyond Atlanta. They put fun podcast, exclamation point, and it says the hosts really care about each movie and TV show, and it's refreshing to see great podcasts. So appreciate Beyond Atlanta for that great comment, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Everybody's willing, y'all can leave something, whether it's good or bad, man. We take it all. Criticisms, praise, we'll take it all. So appreciate everybody who took the time to do that.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the important thing is like when people tell us, saying they like it or they don't like it or what they like about it or what they don't like about it. Like at the end of the day, it really helps us, saying to cultivate a better podcast. So, criticism is just what it is. It's criticism. We don't take any offense to it. We don't get mad at it. You know what I'm saying? If anything, we appreciate it the most because, a lot of times I've been, just like as I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've been a part of a podcast where people didn't leave no comments. So, you know what I'm saying, or a rating at that. So, the fact that people are actually, giving us some type of feedback for a change is it's refreshing. It's very refreshing.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. But before we get out of here, man, everybody please go check out the last. Like I said, it's a double feature, man. The Stolen Time podcast and the 28 minutes or less. It's the same thing, man. The AD, man, featuring Willie McGee. I appreciate the people who has already heard it. I appreciate him coming on. So please go check that out, man. I felt like it was a great interview. You can go to the Stolen Time Pod and s.foster8 on Instagram. You can go to s.foster8 also on Twitter, on the Stolen Time Podcast page on Facebook, and also you can get everything on the VA Podcast Watch Group page. We're still trying to grow that some more. So everybody, if you can, go out and join that. That place is where you can get everything, man. We put up clips of the show. Like if you're not sure, if you really want to check something out, you know what I'm saying? We'll put a clip up, see if that clip can engage you to pull you in. It got clips, it got, you know what I'm saying, the links. Everything you need is on the VA Podcast Watch Group page.
Yes, indeed, man. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. You can follow me on Instagram at Scoots_TV. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, we on YouTube. The channel is Scoots Bronson TV. You can always just search Viewers Anonymous Podcast. And you know what I'm saying? I got some 15 Minutes of Fame episodes that I'm working on that's going to be coming out real soon. I'm just trying to make sure I get people in the right time slots. So kind of in like negotiations right now with it. But I got some people lined up that I got to be coming out very soon. And man, I have slowly but surely been just getting stuff together here and there. I got some stuff that I got coming out this year. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, this COVID thing can lift. So if it does, be on the lookout for an exciting I don't want to call it a game show, but it's kind of like a game show. But we doing like a you know what I'm saying, hits on the street type game show, bringing that back, you know what I'm saying, from the old school BET days. It'll be called Scoots Bronson, Man of the Streets. I've been working on all kind of graphics and everything for it. Just, you know, just about to have some fun, man. I went out and got me a camera last year, hoping that, you know, I was going to be able to go and do some things, but COVID hit, kind of canceled the plan. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to keep it revamped for this year. I got some footage, but I don't know if I'm going to use that because it's a little bit older, but definitely going out to get some new footage. So, yeah, I got some stuff up my sleeve, man. You know what I'm saying? Just stay tuned to the, you know what I'm saying, YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast if you just now listening. Make sure you go subscribe to the 15 Minutes of Fame, of course. It's just podcast only. Make sure you go subscribe to 28 Minutes or Less, Stolen Time. And that's all I got, man. I am tapped out. So thank you guys for the support. We appreciate you guys. See you guys Friday. Make sure you guys get caught up on Snowfall. So, you know what I'm saying, you can get on here and talk with us and chat with us about it and all that good stuff. And you already know we go live every Tuesday and Friday. Things came up, so, you know, we had to switch a day. But from now on, we'll make sure we hit you guys up and give you an alert if we got to switch or anything like that. Because, you know what I'm saying, the schedule is what you guys look for the most. But life happens, man. So either, you know, you got to roll with it or suck it up. So with that being said, like they said, Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Cut.